Hey, what's going on, Chris? Hope you're doing well. I know we were gonna chat on the phone, but I figured I'd put something together for you because I was already looking at some things for you. And well, anyway, I figured I'd just make a video and send it your way. Take your time, and then let me know if you have any questions. So I have some stats and overview type things for you, but I'll also break down kind of what our price ranges are looking at for Las Vegas. And then if you're looking at an investment property type of thing, there's a couple options we can look at. But here let me get into it here. So the big communities that I mentioned, we'll start out in Summerlin. So Summerlin is a master build community in the western part of Las Vegas, and I was mentioning it's kind of a hip place. This is downtown. The picture you see here is downtown Las Vegas, or excuse me, downtown Summerlin, which is fantastic. A lot of great shopping, modern stuff. There's the new ballpark. There's just a lot of great shopping and restaurants. But it is master build community, meaning there's a lot of communities within bigger communities. It's relatively new. I mean, since the 90s, it's been booming. So that's a hot place that everyone talks about. And then on a map, you could see this is the general area of Summerlin on the western part of Las Vegas. If you think of Vegas as a big square, as you can see by the borders of the 215 and then the 95, the highway that goes around Las Vegas. Essentially, it's on the western side. So yeah, and then here's some price ranges. This is a lot of data, and I'll send this to you so you can take your time. But I wanted to show you between condos and houses what the price ranges are looking at. It's been an interesting economy and real estate economy, especially the past year, as anywhere in the world, in the country right now. So what we're looking at for condos, these are the median sales price of condos in the past 6 months. So as you can see, hopefully you can see that all right, but we're essentially around 244,950 as of December. So 250 for a condo. Now condominium, obviously you own the air inside of a unit. You do not own the building itself. So just keep that in mind. I'm not sure how familiar you are with homes and condos and townhomes and stuff like that. I can break that down for you another time, but nothing wrong with that. Just keep that in mind as you go forward as an investor, even for yourself. Condos may be a little tougher to appreciate in the long term. There's also costs associated that you might not have as much control over as compared to a home, because condos are governed by an association of some sort that manages the repairs of the exterior of the condo. On the right side, this chart here, let me make myself smaller. The chart here it shows the months of inventory, and I don't want to get too gobbled down in the data, but essentially it shows, we look at a seller's market or buyer's market. When we look at around 6 to 8 or plus months, we're closer to a buyer's market. So in Summerlin, the condos, we're looking at a buyer's market right now. So you do have some leverage there as a buyer. All right, enough on condos. If we go into homes, these are Summerlin homes. So we're looking as of December, 535 is the median sales point. In Summerlin, you do have a section that is kind of the high ritzy class, really expensive luxury homes. So this is, again, a median. So fairly accurate. Homes are going for anywhere from 450 to 650. A lot of my clients, military, we're talking 3 to 4 bedroom homes, typically around that 500 to 600 price point. And then months of inventory, again, we're looking at closer to a buyer's market. All right, Henderson. So this is the section of Las Vegas. It's actually outside of Las Vegas in the southeast corner, and it's kind of far out there, but a lot of people are moving there, and it's building up quickly. This picture here is Lake Las Vegas, and then you have kind of a view of the city of Las Vegas from a Henderson Park. You can see it's kind of far from the Strip, but it's a booming community. Again, it's very similar to Summerlin. It's a master plan community, so you have lots of communities in larger communities. And here it is on the map. So you're down there in the southeast corner. I have a lot of friends who live here, actually, but I've noticed it is inconvenient if you are into being close to the Strip or downtown Summerlin or other areas like the base, for example. You're kind of far out there, so it is a minute to drive around, but it's not too bad. I really do like the area, and kind of the vibe that you get there is you'll see a bit more palm trees and greenery, and the communities are, you see a little more of the green side. Las Vegas is obviously in the desert, so you don't have as much green, but Henderson definitely prides themselves in the water and greenery type of realms. They do have Lake Las Vegas, like I mentioned, so that's an advantage of Henderson. Anyway, condos, we're looking at 225, so a little cheaper than Summerlin. And then months of inventory as of December, we're still kind of in a middle limbo between buyer and seller market, so not as much leverage there in the condo world. For homes, you're looking at 425 for homes. And then 6 months of inventory, so kind of close to a buyer's market. But yeah, so a little more affordable in Henderson right now. And then the Strip. So you mentioned you kind of want to be close to the Strip. Definitely a little tougher market. We'll get to, this is the area highlighted. This is, again, the data I'm pulling is from this section. The Strip is going to be closer to the, just above the P in Paradise. Right above there is actually the Strip. It's not the center that most people think it is. It's a little closer to the P. But anyway, I made that boundary so you could see. So condos around 180. And then you have homes that are priced around 327,500 as of December. I believe when you see the location around the Strip, it's probably not as ideal if you're going to be living there yourself. If you're looking to make it a rental, it could work. Again, going back to the Airbnb thing that I mentioned, it might be a bit tough to swing Airbnbs, but if you're looking at longer term stays, it could work. And we can talk more details on what those numbers look like in those homes. But again, it's what you're really looking for. If you're going to be living there, if you're going to be renting rooms out, if you're actually just trying to buy a place and rent it out, whatever the case is, we can talk those options. And then the last section of town I wanted to highlight is the north or the northwest. This is where a lot of military live. This is where I live. This park here is 2 blocks down from me. I live in a place called Centennial Hills. It's the northwest corner. And then you have Sky Canyon and then Aliante to the more middle north. So in this map here, you can see my cursor right here. That's where I live right there, which is super nice because I'm right off the 215, which boom, I can get down to Summerlin right there, or I can get up to at Creech, so I go up that way, or Nellis is right in this corner. Really, really nice area. It's growing. Homes are being built all up in this section, and it's a booming area. I also live right across from the hospital, and what's nice is I rent out my other home to traveling nurses, which they have 4, 5, 6 months of stay here that they it's like a TDY for them, and they have a per diem that they just pay me, and it's really nice, and it's a good way to make the rental work because they pay a higher premium to stay at a shorter term and a furnished property. So my home that I'm renting out is furnished. Anyway, this is a really good area. We'll look at prices here. For condos, you're looking around 260. And then for homes, you're looking at a median sales price of 427,500. So out of all these options, it means, again, going to come down to the details. I'm curious on what you're looking at doing. Summerlin is going to be your most expensive if you're looking at, a nice home. Henderson will be second, and then the north west corners where I live is a good median sales price, and then the Strip is going to be a tougher sale, I believe, for what you're looking to do, but maybe it'll work out actually. So depending on what your goals are, we can chat on those options. And then anyway, I put something together for you. I was looking at mortgage rates as of 2 days ago, a 6.54%. I just looked at it now. It's conventional 30% loan is 6.54%. Again, if you're going to be doing a VA or FHA, you are supposed to make it your primary residence. So if you are going to be living there, obviously that could work. If not, a conventional loan as an investor, they're usually going to ask you to put 20 to 25% down. So I ran the numbers for you as an example. If you were to buy a conventional investment property at 25% down, assuming the rate is 6.5% on a property that is $400,000, it doesn't show here, but I did a example of a home that is worth $400K. This is what your monthly payment would look like, $2,400, and then you'd have to bring to closing around $110K. Again, this is as if you were to buy a $400,000 home with these inputs, essentially. Conventional 25% down, 6.5% rate, plus all the closing costs and the HOA, which in Las Vegas, it depends on your community. If you're in Summerlin, HOAs are a little more expensive. Those are your assessments per month. And yeah, that's what we're looking at. So I can go into a lot more depth and explain all these, inputs and how we get these numbers, but just wanted to give you an idea of what you're looking at. Okay, if you're going to do a VA loan for a $400,000 home, VA right now is around 6.2%. You'd be looking at a monthly payment of $3,013, and then to close, you'd only need to bring just under $11K, which is nice. That's the great thing about the VA loan. I'm sure you're well aware. You could put 0% down. There's always going to be closing costs though, and those are part of the fee, the funding fee, and the other fees associated to the lender. But definitely a big difference from $110K to $11K. But again, your monthly payment would be more. And so if you're looking at renting it out, you have to figure out, hey, how much am I renting out the home? And is it paying off the mortgage? Is it giving me income? Whatever the case is, that's where you got to run the numbers, and I can help you out with that too. So yeah, I know it's a lot of information. I talked fast, but let me know if you have any questions. Hope this helped out, and curious to see what you're trying to do. All right, Chris, we'll see you, man. And Happy New Year, by the way. Peace.